From the network that brought you the Dro Bro Show and Remo's interviews, brings you the brand new Hot Tag with Grimex and Mr. Vicious. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? This is Mr. Vicious, Remo Vinci, and we are back with another episode of the Hot Tag. Tagging into my homeboy, Grimex. What's up, my brother?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How about yourself? Phenomenal weekend for SummerSlam. Sorry that we're getting to it a little late. This is right before SmackDown, so a lot to talk about.
Lots to talk about. It was an awesome weekend. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan, like we've talked about so many times already. But man, this SummerSlam weekend did not disappoint. Great stuff, man. Lots to talk about. Let's get right on into it, bro.
The
Did
first
you
match,
did you get to watch the whole thing live?
yeah,
Hell yeah. Well,
the
I
first,
did too, and it was a dope ass show. So go ahead, my brother. Go ahead. Let's get into it.
first match was Liv versus Rhea for the women's championship. We already predicted this in our. If you go to our Dro Bros last episode with Nate the Great, we did our SummerSlam predictions in that episode, and we basically called the fact that Dominic was going to betray Rhea Ripley on this night, and it just seemed like the storyline was going that direction. This was a great match. Rhea showed her dominance, asserted it. Dom takes the chair when she has it at one point, and everyone boos. And at that point, you think he's doing it to turn on her, but the reality is he's telling her, no, you can't win the title that way. So now it's another layer to the story that, no, maybe not tonight. But then at the end, he basically screws her over, and he goes out with Liv, and they have a kiss in front of Rhea, basically proving that everything was a setup. And maybe even insinuating what I said about the Raw thing, how it wasn't Liv who destroyed the Judgment Day locker room, but Dominic.
Well, I don't know about that yet, but first of all, just let me say, in my notes here, the very first thing I have is Samantha Irvin is the dopest. And I say that every freaking show I see, every damn pay-per-view or PLE, whatever. She's awesome, bro. She's my favorite. You know what I mean? So her doing the introductions and all the everything she does is just off the chain to
Dude,
begin with.
I love how she does a different, unique um,
Like the
announcement
cadence.
for each
Yeah.
each character, yeah, and like how she does Chelsea Green and all
Right?
that, and just how she does all of them. And thank God for Mark Henry, because Mark Henry's the one who found her when she was on, what was it, America's Got Talent or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. Yeah.
And he's seen her and he was like, nah, she's destined for something else. So he had her try out. And if it wasn't for Mark Henry, we wouldn't have Samantha Irving or Bianca Belair for that matter. You know,
Yep.
he
Yep.
brought both of them into the sport. Great calls on both of them.
Great calls. So that's the first thing I have in my notes. Is she's the dopest, right? So then the next thing I got is obviously both of these chicks were fucking awesome, bro. They were amazing in this match, and they both complemented each other so well. Again, like you said, Rhea was so dominant in all the right spots, but Liv was pulling out some crazy shit, and she was like showing why she's one of the dopest that's going right now. So it was awesome, bro. And then like I put it in the group chat to y'all. I said Dirty Dom's my new favorite wrestler, y'all.
Yeah,
The,
I
the
saw
way
that.
dude, this dude is Eddie, like y'all said, you know what I mean? He's Eddie reincarnated, and he's the dopest, bro. So Dom, big ups to you, my brother, doing great things. Um,
He
this
is
match
dope.
this match was very well done, bro, and the people were hot for it. It was an awesome match to start off with, you know. So I was
Dude,
very
just
happy
a
with,
long build up. That was a long build up.
and it's still like it's you know in the second act or third act, you know, like it's still going. This Rhea and Liv storyline, bro, it just has a lot of layers to it, and it's pretty awesome because you know, like we talked about in our Drobro episode with Nate the Great. I've been a Liv fan for a long time, bro, and she's been due for some kind of something to really, you know, sink her teeth into and show what she's made of. So I'm glad she has this opportunity. As we get closer to the end of the show and we get into Raw and what's happening now, we'll talk a little bit more about her involvement in things. But for right now, bro, like she was awesome, and the kiss at the end, we all saw it coming, but it was great to see like that anticipation, bro. You know what I mean? Of knowing the shit's gonna happen and then seeing how it comes to fruition. It was just great. So
Yeah.
I was really happy with it. It was an awesome opener. So that was awesome. Then the next thing I have, I'm not sure if you caught this or not, but they actually advertised it a few times. This crossover with Street Fighter and WWE. Did you see that?
Mhm.
For some kind of uh, I can't remember if it was one of those card games or a video game or something like that, but it was a crossover for it, and they kept showing Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega, and I think it was Xavier Woods that were in the advertisements, and they would like morph into a different Street Fighter character, like Ray turned into Ryu, and I don't know who
No, but I
Zelina
want to touch on that in our Raw part because that's something
with Kofi.
associated to something similar.
Yeah, yeah, I got that too in the notes. But that was advertised right after, and they actually did. I'm surprised you didn't see it because they did kind of advertise it pretty heavily. I saw it.
I don't get to watch the commercials the way I watch this stuff. You know what I
I see.
mean?
Yeah.
It only shows the matches, and barely, very seldomly do I even get to see the entrances on this stuff because
Oh, I see.
you know what I
Okay.
mean.
Yeah,
I
I get
just
it.
get to see the matches because to
Okay.
watch it that way, it gets taken down pretty quick, and you have to be quick on it, and you know what I'm saying. But anyways,
Yeah, I feel.
so
Well,
the
also, before you get into the next match, I did have one more thing underlined here. When they were showing Rhea and Liv. I can't remember what it was, but they also had showed a few of the other women wrestlers in some kind of a montage or something, some kind of little video. And it just kind of slapped me in the face, bro. Like, you got John Cena, you got Batista, you got The Rock, you have all these dudes that are getting into Hollywood and like making a big, claim to fame for themselves in Hollywood. But we don't have any women wrestlers representation in Hollywood. And I was thinking like there's plenty of them, that could really do something, I think, if given the chance. So I wanted to make sure I said something about it because I had it underlined twice here. You know what I mean? That we need more women wrestlers in Hollywood. So I'm rooting for you, ladies. Let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
I guess AJ Lee, she writes comic books. She has a comic book coming out, and she writes scripts for shows, I guess, in
I didn't know
Hollywood.
that. I know
So
she came out with her own like autobiography or something a while back, and it touched on mental health. And I remember she was doing the rounds, promoting that for a while, and that was pretty cool.
next match, was Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker. Uh, didn't disappoint. Braun Breaker's a beast. You know what I mean? He's like fucking Goldberg and the Steiner brothers rolled into one. That's what I see. It reminds me of old school WCW, early WWE, but he definitely embodied both Steiner brothers and Goldberg in ways that and I'm not saying just because the tattoo or the spear, it's just certain moves he did. I'm not saying like how people are saying that Goldberg botched a lot of matches either. What I'm saying is that just his wrestling ability, having been a football player, I feel like a lot of that stuff carries over, and you see it.
Hmm. Oh, I agree, bro. I think the similarities with Goldberg to me are like there's some that are obvious, but there's some too that I think are a little overstated. You know what I mean? Just because there's nothing else to compare it to, I guess. For some of these guys. But Braun, man. So this was the first of our title changes in a night of many title changes, and man, it didn't disappoint. Like you said, this dude is amazing, bro. This freaking guy is so athletic and he's so quick and he's so intense. He's got the intensity of Scott for sure. You know what I'm saying? And that's a given. And that's one of the things I got written down right here, too. He's so intense, just like Uncle Scott, because that freaking dude was scary, bro. When you would see Scott Steiner in the ring sometimes, you didn't know what was going to happen because he was freaking psycho. And Braun
So
has that look to him where he can go straight Steiner psycho and he's going to fuck some shit up.
So he gets his shoulder injured at the beginning of the match, and then it levels the playing field. So then you almost think, well, fudge, are they really going to have Sammy retain? But then they're building up this Bloodline 2.0, which is freaking the Civil War is going to happen. So, anyways, obviously Braun wins here. He wins with the spear, and he pulls it out of nowhere. Obviously there was a point where you thought he was going to lose it. He definitely won the match. He deserved it. We knew it was coming. Hopefully his title reign isn't wasted. Really, all
Well,
I could say.
so he does this crazy freaking Frankensteiner, and he almost
Mhm.
doesn't even touch the dude. Like I said last time too, like he barely even he does it so quick and so flawlessly that it's like he almost doesn't even make contact with it. It's kind of crazy. So anyway, he does that, and that's badass. But the freaking I think he's kind of reminds me of Donald Trump. He's like a little too orange with the spray tan or whatever's going on with this dude, you know? It's just a little too much. And then like you could tell he got like a fresh fade or something right before the show because all of this shit was like, like white as hell because he had hair or whatever, when you shave your head, and it looks all white. And then like from his neck and all right here, you look like you freaking Donald Trump, dog. It was all orange as shit. Tripped me out. So that's one thing about the look that's a little funky. But you know what I do love, bro, is he wears the Steiner singlets. You know what I mean? Like the weird, crazy colors and different designs and shit. Like the
Dude, in
90s.
NXT, he actually wore his dad's singlet, the one with the pink one with the numbers. How sick.
I
And
don't
he wore his
remember.
dad's
That's dope.
jacket.
Hell yeah. That's
So,
freaking hell dope, bro. But the Braun era is here, bro. And we've been excited for it. We've been anticipating. I thought the finish was a little I thought he could, to build up that spear a little bit more. They're always talking about his rope to rope speed. So I know they had him hit the ropes, but I think he should hit it one more time. Just one more boom, 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 and then boom, take the fool out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I think he should do it. But it worked for what it was. Um, I was impressed with it, man. Braun's a beast, and I'm anxious to see how this title reign works out for him. Because he could probably I don't know if they would do it where he could hold it for a long time like how Gunther did, and make him break records like that. But he's a dominant character where he could probably have it for a pretty significant run. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I doubt he'll be on the same level as Gunther with the dominance and everything. You know what I mean? I'm just not to say that he's not a dominant wrestler, but I don't think he's gonna have the prestige behind the title that Gunter did.
We'll see.
But the next match, okay, also same story here. L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Yep. So right from the gate, he comes out, smashes the window with the pipe because he can't see out of it in the prime vehicle that he stole from freaking Logan. So right away they're fighting in their entrance gear. The match doesn't even start, and they're fighting outside, beating the hell out of each other, pulling some pretty hellacious moves before the match even starts. But Logan Paul does this phenomenal ass fucking moonsault. Like I
Is
said in the last
that the one where like is that the one where like he spun midair and then did the freaking
yeah.
moonsault? Oh
So
my
like me and Nate the Great were saying, the guy does not fail to impress. Love him, hate him, whatever. He came in the business. He respects it. He's not like one of them people making fun of it. He's taking the shit serious. And so, anyways, um, he came out with MGK, and he knew some bullshit was going to happen because Logan Paul lately, since he's been on his heel turn, leading up to his United States title run, which was only two fucking defenses, uh, he's been using the knucks, the brass knucks, okay, and he's been finding ways to sneak it in. He knew that shit was going to happen some way, somehow, and that's how he's been pulling off all his wins. That's basically been his finisher for his last few matches, like last three pay-per-views. So obviously he gets him from MGK in a creative way where he jumps over the barrier, he hands him his necklace and has him on. And then when LA Knight gets thrown down on the ground by him, he's all acting like a surprise fan standing out there. Him being a celebrity, they're not going to trip. So definitely made it look like he wasn't doing some sneaky shit. And then Logan Paul tries to fucking hit LA Knight, but it looks like he just barely grazes him. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
then LA Knight's able to do the fucking BFT from the clothesline, the springboard clothesline, and win the United States Championship. And the reason why I say it's the same story is because let's see if they don't waste this run, because I feel like they killed his momentum after the Roman Reigns story shit, and that really hurt him and his growth as a character.
I think he definitely needed a shot in the arm, so I'm hoping that this could be it. It was a good match. Had some great spots. I actually got a phone call right at the beginning of the match, so I didn't really get to pay attention to it as well as I would have liked to, but I did get to see it still. I think that pre-match shit with the freaking car and all that, I think it was lame. You know, he couldn't even bust it the first time. He did it all silly like, and then he had to make up for it, and it was, man. You know, I told you, LA Knight is kind of weird with me anyway. I'm still trying to get used to it. So, you know, this match, I was hoping to be able to have a better opinion of him, you know, afterwards and stuff, and I did, because he, you know, again, he's been a veteran for a while, you know, he's been around, so you could tell how he was leading Logan through a lot of that match and how, you know, they worked really well together. I thought Logan, again, like you said, he doesn't disappoint. This guy being so new into the sport, um, he just loves it. You could tell that he's having fun and he really loves it. So I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Because it
Yeah.
makes for a much better product for the viewer and the audience. So the MGK stuff. Oh man, I had a hard time with some of it because like, dude, just I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know what it is, but he looked goofy. He didn't look right. He looked out of place. The whole thing was funky. Even the fucking jelly roll shit later too, dog. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, you know. But
But it
go ahead.
wasn't, look, at least he took a fucking power bomb from KO from the stage. One of the,
Yep.
you know what I mean? So
Yep.
I don't like him either. I don't like his look. But I mean, if he took a power bomb off the stage, damn.
So yeah, you know, it is what it is. But I think the story for sure, LA Knight, you know, finally getting some love and respect in the WWE. That's long time coming for this dude, you know. So mad props to him. The LA Knight era has also begun. So we'll see what comes out of all that. You know, I wonder if there's going to be some heavyweight championship gold in his future, because I think he's definitely of the caliber. But I'm still not completely sold either. You know, I'm
Yeah.
giving props because I'm trying to be optimistic about the whole thing, but I don't know. Something about dude, it's like too phony. You know, like Austin was authentic, Rock was authentic. Like those dudes fucking lived that shit. You felt it. I feel like this dude is on some other shit. I don't know. You know, it just feels a little too phony for me. So I don't know. But I still like him. I still like the music is dope. You know, I like the whole persona, I guess, to a certain extent. You know, I need to see more though. I need to see him evolve a little bit more. I feel like he is just a couple catchphrases and that's about it, you know? So we'll see. But I did notice at the end of this match that the arena was still not full. Like it was hot. The people were hot for all the matches, but it still wasn't full at this point, and it was already, you know, a couple matches in. So I wonder what that is, man. Because I know if I'm paying that much money for them freaking tickets, I'm gonna be there for the pre-show, the fucking after show, the whole damn thing.
That shit looked full as hell during the LA Knight and Logan Paul match. And it look,
Yeah, but when they would show wide shots from the hard cam, bro, like, and they would pull back, you would see a lot of empty seats, especially up top, you know. So obviously it filled in later as the night goes, and I think that's how it is for a lot of those kind of things. But again, bro, that's already 3 matches in, or however, you know. So I think that's kind
so
of whack.
moving on to the next one, Nia Jackson Bailey. So this was very underwhelming for a women's match, but that's okay because Bailey's championship run was pretty underwhelming. Even though I like Bailey, I just feel like her championship run hasn't really been what it could be. You know what it has been before when even Io Sky had it. That was a compelling storyline and everything. But since she's won the title, there really hasn't been much done with her since WrestleMania. So not disappointed in the way the match turned out. I mean, it basically turned out the way I thought it would. Tiffany Stratton basically distracts her Nia Jax to, well, she drills her with two fucking the hell is she
Annihilate.
called? Yeah, the Annihilators. Yeah. And,
So
she basically, you knew she was winning when she did that shit. You know what I mean? But no, serious. When she did that, I was like, yeah, this is over. She's not kicking out.
so right off the bat, Queen Nia Jax. Bro, there's only one queen in WWE, and her name is Charlotte. And I thought for sure she was gonna be making an appearance, bro, because I know she's due for a comeback anytime now. So
Yeah.
she was one of the ones I was expecting. So when Queen Nia Jax is coming out for her entrance, that's one of the first things I wrote down because I'm like, I want to see, you know. So anyway, the music sucks, bro, for both of them, for Nia and for Bailey. I was so sad, dog, with the music because that's been a hot topic in some of the podcasts I've been listening to recently. You know, they've been talking about a lot of the internet wrestling communities having a hard time with the dudes that make the music. That I can't remember the name now, but they're main contracted producers there at WWE or whatever, making a lot of underwhelming, very forgettable entrance themes for people. So Bailey's hair, funky as hell as always. I wish there was something a little different about that, you know, that could make it a little tighter. But man, she kind of brought back that old school look, you know, that she used to have a little bit. And it almost made it seem as though there was going to be even more of like this this face turn. And what else did I put? Oh, I since I said about the old school look, she definitely had that booty popping though. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn, she be dunking. You know what I mean? So big ups to Bailey for that. But she's so freaking good, bro. And they kept putting it over too the whole match about how good Bailey was and how she's one of the greats and all this kind of shit. And they kept talking about it. You know, they kept saying it. So that's how I knew. That's how I knew she was going to be dropping it because they kept giving her all kinds of fucking accolades and props and stuff. And to me, a lot of times it seems like that's the consolation prize. You know what I mean? Is they kind of kiss their ass a little bit and say that kind of stuff. So that's when I kind of got the iggy that's what was happening. But nobody was saying anything about Tiffy, bro. Nobody was saying anything about Tiffany Stratton. And I wrote that shit down because that's how I knew, too, that it was going to be one of them screw finishes, bro, because, you know, they try to deflect you. You know what I mean? They try to get your attention off of shit. So I knew that was happening. And Nia really looked good, too, though. I wasn't disappointed in this match like how you sounded like you were. I was pretty impressed with it because Nia, since she has come back, this new run that she's been on has been pretty impressive. I've been pleasantly surprised with a lot of the work she's been doing. You know what I mean? And she seems like
been dope. She
seems like she don't give a fuck either, dog. Like she's just kind of telling it like it is and doing what, you know, she should be in the bloodline, bro. She got that kind of attitude. You know what I mean? Excuse me. But then she did the fucking bonsai drop, dog. You know what I mean? That annihilator. And I never seen her do that before, bro. So I was like, what? I tripped out, dog. I marked out hard the first time I seen that shit. And then Bailey kicked out. And I was like, oh my God, what? They had me hooked, fool. But fucking Nia, man, she just dominated, sick with it. It took 2 power bombs and 3 fucking annihilators to Bailey, bro. And that's what took her out. And I was like, I gotta give it up, dog. I gotta give it up to Bailey.
Bailey power bomb fucking Nia. That was pretty badass.
And that was impressive as shit, bro.
That was impressive. She struggled a bit, but that shit was impressive.
I don't know if you follow her on any social media or whatever, but Bailey does a lot of cool stuff, man. I've seen videos of her doing like weird squats while she's juggling and shit, and she's a trip, bro. She's very athletic. You know, it's kind of deceiving because she doesn't really get that kind of love like that, but she's very athletic. So, big ups to Bailey. I'm anxious to see what happens with her now. You know, I feel like there's gonna be that weird hybrid of the hugger versus and what is she now? I don't know what she's post damage.
BYB.
Yeah,
or
you know.
BBL. That's what Nia called her.
That's funny.
The next match, though, I feel was the match of the night. You know what I mean? Honestly, freaking hands down, match of the night. Neither guy disappointed. Seth was a badass referee, you know. And what I was saying earlier is it was in the last match and this match, I think, that they tried something new with the earpiece fucking camera.
The ref can't.
Yeah, and I don't know how I feel about it yet. I thought we talked about it on the Nate the Great episode. I think he mentioned it that they were going to have the refs wear cameras on their bodies, and we were talking about we'd see how it would turn out. But I honestly don't know how I feel about it yet. It kind of was weird. It was, I don't know.
You know what I think it should be? I feel very strange about it too. But now that you were talking about it, I just had this thought, and I feel like it would be much better instead of a weird ass earpiece that probably keeps falling out. It should be like a body cam, like a chest thing, bro. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, but
it
how are you
should.
going to get on the ground in 1, 2? That's why it would be hard. I get it. But
But saying like it wouldn't. You're not going to be looking at that anyway. You're going to be looking at a different angle. Even when the dude gets down like
the
that,
head ones, a
you're not
head
going
strap
to.
would be the best. You know what I
That's
mean?
weird, bro. I feel like it'd be too hard to see. Like you get motion sickness trying to fuck. And that's how it was with this ear thing. You know, like when they would show the shots of it, it was just like weird, bro. It was too hard to. I don't know. I didn't like it. I
But the
think they
match,
definitely did some work with it, and I'm surprised that they actually went with it. To be honest with you, because I feel like they probably should have tried it a few other smaller ways first. You know what I mean? To see what it was like instead of starting off with the big old fucking SummerSlam and doing it like that. You know, because I think it just made it kind of strange. And I honestly don't think it worked very well. I think it was kind of like a wah, 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 you know. But
what I like
that's
about
my
this
opinion.
match is I think it showed great storytelling as far as not just the build up between Punk and McIntyre, but McIntyre's always let his anger get the best of him. And in this match, storyline revolved around the bracelet, which was, you know, it says AJ and Larry on it, his dog and his wife. And so this match revolved around the story of that. And see, because Drew had it, Punk was losing his mind and he almost cost himself the match at points. He had it. And then when Rollins picks up the bracelet and he notices it, that's where he fucks up. You know what I mean? And when he does the GTS there, then he basically gets low blowed by McIntyre in front of Rollins. Rollins don't say anything because it's Rollins, not a ref. And Drew wins, well deserved though. I mean, badass match. These two fucking laid it down. It was a slobber knocker, like good old JR would say.
They are.
You know,
Yep. Yep. I agree 100%. It was a great match. I don't know if I'd call it match of the night because I feel like every single match brought it, bro. You know what I mean? Like the from the front to the back, dog. Like I was not disappointed with any part of this whole show.
see, because I
So,
call it the match of the night because I have other things for the last two matches.
okay. That's cool.
Honestly,
But again, though, I'm just saying, like, I don't know if I could pick any of them as a match of the night because it was so damn good. I was so proud of the whole show. But I have here that Rollins looks ridiculous when he when he came out, bro. Same as always ridiculous. And then his bedazzled ref shirt and the freaking sparkly ass pants. I was like, yep, this guy. Of course, you know what I mean. He's not gonna disappoint with the outrageousness. So that was funny, but he did awesome, bro. I thought he was an awesome ref. He let them both get away with so much shit.
yeah.
You know, he
Even
deliberately.
Punk,
Yep,
when
he
Punk was
deliberately
slamming his
knocked it
head in
off.
the stairs with the ear cam, remember?
What
And he's
happened?
all, "Is this legal?" He's all, "Go ahead, I'm good with it." And he's all slamming his head in the stairs.
Yep, there was all kinds of that, bro. It was awesome. Drew looked like a freaking beast. Punk looked ready when he was coming out, bro. He looked ready. He looked great. You
Yeah.
know, I was very proud of him. You know, I loved all the stats that they would show when people were coming out, and it would show like their SummerSlam stats or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? I thought that was pretty cool. And they kept saying about how it was Punk's first singles match in 10 and a half years, and it was just a lot of cool storytelling, like you were talking about. Um, it was so crazy, bro. Like before they even locked up, like it was electric, bro. It was one of those big fight field, you know what I mean? Those it definitely had the goosebumps going, you know what I mean? And the crowd was hot, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was like that Rock and Hogan match at WrestleMania where it was like before they even touched, the crowd was like, ah, you know? It was a lot like that, bro. It was freaking tight. So I was excited, bro. They hadn't even touched it. So by the way, by the time it concluded, bro, and all the stuff had happened, um, I was just, I was proud of him. Like I said, it was a great match all the way around. Drew definitely deserved it. I'm anxious to see what happens next with Punk and Rollins because that seems to be where it's going now. I feel like Drew's probably gonna end up in the title picture again, because he's always at the top of the card somewhere. Um, I don't know. I think that's about all I could say on it, bro. Very impressive, though.
Yeah. So getting into the next match, the hardest slappingest match of the whole night. Fucking Gunther even had fucking his chest was bleeding at points. That I know there's no way that Damien did not fucking impress you in this match. That he sent it. He went toe to toe with Gunther. They fucking had a slap fest. There was back and forth. They were beating the hell out of each other. This was a real slobber knocker in every sense of the word, more than the CM Punk match. And these dudes went at it. And so this one for me was the biggest surprise of the night. Okay. I knew this shit was building up. And I think this ties into the whole Liv and all of that shit because she helped Judgment Day win their titles. And this has been going on since then. She told Rhea, I will steal everything from you. So the Judgment Day, Dominic, all of this shit. I mean, everything making sense now because leading up to this, Damien saying that I don't need the Judgment Day. I'm the heavyweight champion. They need me more than I need them. And Finn's always been out there having his back, and the Judgment Day's been having his back. And right before this, where Balor fights Gunter, and he says that I want to do this on my own, no help. And Gunter just beats the hell out of Balor and fucking chokes him out and all this shit, still punking him. And then Priest comes out to save him. So I felt like it had a lot to do with that. It was originally what I thought it was, but now it makes more sense on this whole Liv thing. But anyways, Balor coming out anyways after Priest asked them not to. It's kind of weird, especially with the animosity between the two, and then to see what he did. Even I was like, oh, what the fuck? Did he just do what I think he did? When he fucking and Priest, remember his he has to see it on the Titantron because he didn't see it happen either.
Yeah.
So then the shock on his face, and after that, his whole fucking demeanor is towards Balor. But
Yep.
yeah, it ends up costing him, and to see a guy get choked out, you know what I mean? That doesn't happen often in the WWE.
Yep. So I'm gonna disappoint you a little bit and let you know that I had gotten another phone call at this time. So I wasn't able to really watch all of this match either. I saw all the entrance stuff. And with the entrance, I gotta tell you, Gunther looked impressive already just from the entrance. And he's got great music. So that was another thing that stood out to me. Priest, I just have Priest equals lame right off the bat, dog. He looked boo boo already, dog. Like you could already tell he was gonna do the job because he looked boo boo face, like something he was sad because he was gonna drop it. And even the way he held the title, like sometimes these dudes are like a little extra with the belt and shit because they know that's the last time they're gonna have it. You know what I mean, or whatever. So that's what it seemed like to me. I did get to see that there was Balor interference, but I didn't really get to see all of what happened and how and why. But the Gunther era is now upon us as the world heavyweight champ. And I expect big things from this dude. He broke records as the IC champ, so let's see what he does
Walter.
And bro, like I seen a meme the other day of pictures of when he first started in NXT UK, bro, and to where he is now, and the way this dude has transformed his body is very impressive.
Yeah.
So this dude fought hard. He worked his ass off,
From
literally.
Walter to Gunther.
Literally. worked his ass off to get to where he's at. You know what I'm saying? So mad props to you, my brother. Thank you for getting the belt off of that sorry ass Damian Priest. Um, I'm anxious to see what happens next. You know, that's another good one.
Yeah. So I'm not disappointed that Gunther won it. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I just thought Priest, he definitely showed out on that one. Next match though. So like I said, we had the best match of the night. The fucking we had the best surprise of the night, or the biggest surprise. I feel like this is the best comeback right here in this match. But first, getting into it, right? You knew this bullshit was gonna have bullshit with the bloodline because it's bloodline rules. So obviously, you know, they can interfere. There's
Well,
no
hold on.
disqualification.
Before you get into that last match real quick, there was a spot that fucking had Jelly Roll and
I
the
know,
Miz
but
and R
I,
Truth and all that shit. And I just wanted to mention real quick, like they kept trying to put over how Jelly Roll and like I think MGK too or whoever else was having like these lifetime, you know what I mean, moments and whatever and shit. And that's cool, bro. Like being a wrestling fan, like of course I would love to have a spot like that. It would be awesome. But man, I just thought it was lame. You know how I had Priest equals lame on my notes? I had Jelly Roll equals lame also. So I'm sorry, but that's my truth. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into that last match.
yeah. So he knew that the new bloodline was gonna interfere, but right before the match, Cody has a fucking heart to heart with Arn, and Arn tells him, you know, don't worry, I made a call. You're not going to do it alone, basically. And so you're like, oh shit, what's going on? What's going to happen? So that basically hints at the whole legacy thing that Nate the Great was talking about on our Drobro episode, right? Definitely
Yeah.
with Arn involved. Okay. So then, anyways, cool ass entrance, cool ass attires. You know, Cody's badass. I'm not sold on the new Bloodline shit. I don't like solo shit. His music's not great. It's nothing like Roman's. Okay, you can't even compare to the fucking like prestige of Roman's song, right? For being a tribal chief, that shit. Like when you hear that song, his old song, it's like fucking prestige. So, anyways, this fucking match goes on, and of course, Tongaloa and Tonga or Tongaloa and Tama Tonga fucking interfere, and first KO comes out, and then Orton, and so they're battling them out in the crowd and shit, and it's cool because these both got taken out by the Bloodline, and remember when I was telling you when they power bombed Orton, he hasn't been back since, so cool to see them both come back. But then you knew Jacob Fatu was lurking somewhere. Comes out, punks fucking Rhodes, you know, obviously. But uh when he jumps off the rope and the way he hits Rhodes on the table, looks like he hits his fucking leg and like broke his leg. You know what I mean? He doesn't get up off the ground for the rest of the match. So this leaves him out for the remainder. And when Rhodes is back in the ring fighting Solo, this fucking song hits. It's a new song, but everyone knows who the fuck it is. And then you see the screen and it says head of the table. So how the hell do you not know who it is? And Roman comes out with the OTC, the original tribal chief. And obviously made his intentions clear. Superman punched and speared Solo. Looks at Rhodes, doesn't touch him, basically letting him know that I'm here to fucking take back my chair. And Rhodes wins, you know, retains. It was a badass fucking to see Roman back. That's all I could say.
Yep. Um, Let me start from the get. I got a whole ass page just for this damn match. Solo riding solo, I have right off the bat, and the music does suck. I put that too, so I agree with you there. I mean, bro, they could come up with something much better. You know what I mean? For a lot of these people, dog. You know, I mean, they're a multi-billion-dollar corporation now. There's got to be some way. I mean, fucking AEW pays for actual songs for people. You know what I mean? So there's got to be a way they could come up with something here.
Hey, WWE did for Cody Rhodes, so think about that, dude. It's the most they ever spent on a track for a wrestler.
Well, I mean, that sets the precedence, you know what I mean? So we'll see what they could still keep evolving into. So, um, Cody did have a really cool backstage with Arn. I thought that was dope. I think it was a real nice touch. I thought it was kind of silly for him to walk the dog for 15 feet. You know what I mean? And I thought that was kind of weird. Um, I didn't see the wife. I didn't see Brandy there. I thought that was kind of strange. You know, he was in his RV. I thought that was cool too. How they had the whole entrance from him being in his RV or his bus, I mean, and then coming all the way out and stuff. The one thing I didn't like about it is he had that mask and
Yeah,
he
he's
came.
been wearing it for a
The
while
mask,
now.
no, the mask is dope itself, but I didn't want to see him putting it on and then going and coming out with it and taking like that. Just looked funky to me. I felt like they could have stopped the backstage shit at that point. You know what I mean? Like they could have, as soon as he goes through Gorilla or whatever, they could have kind of like faded away from it or changed it and had like the outside entrance ready for that angle. You know what I mean? And then he comes out with the mask. That would have been tight, bro. But to
Yeah.
see them hand him the mask and he puts it on and then he goes out, I thought that was kind of whack. That was a silly detail that, to me, it was lame. You know, to them, probably nothing. To most people, it's probably nothing. But to me, it was lame. You know, um, I have Cody's freaking cool, man. He's so freaking cool. I love the entrance. You know what I mean? Solo is lame, I said, because he just stands there and he just has this sour freaking puss on his face, dog, and he looks like a little girl, and you just already know. You're like this.
Taz wannabe, dude. Taz
Exact,
wannabe. That's all I
exact.
could say.
So I was like, eh. And then the very next line, my very freaking next note says, Solo actually isn't too bad. He really did a great job, bro. He dominated and he took the crowd out of it completely. The crowd was non-existent for a little bit, bro. It was so quiet in there because he was kicking his ass. It was tight. Masterfully done, you know. There was a Terry Funk move that they said something about, and I can't remember what the move was, but it looked all goofy and funky as hell. And Corey Graves said, "Oh, it would look like a Terry Funk move." And bro, I popped huge for that shit. I thought it was so funny. I wish I could remember what the move was right off the top, but I can't. Um, the Tonga brothers, man, came out, and you knew that was happening. You knew KO and you knew Orton.
God. The crowd even started chanting God. Remember? Fucking because the Gorillas of Destiny in New Japan. For those that don't know, the Bullet Club again, like I keep saying, these
Yeah.
guys, the Gorillas of Destiny,
Yep.
God.
Hell yeah, I didn't catch that, but nice get there, my brother. You knew KO was coming. You knew Orton was coming. Orton's a freaking beast like always. But I put where's Jacob Fatu because they didn't obviously, he wasn't there, so you knew something was happening. And then Cody did some shit that was kind of heelish, a few things, and I was like, wait a minute, you know what I mean? It kind of had me notice. I didn't have it written down exactly what it was, and it's been a few days, so I couldn't tell you now. But there was some shit he was doing that was awfully heelish, and it just kind of made me take a mental note of that. And then boom, there's Jacob Fatu. And I'm like, oh shit, this fucking guy. And I missed it when he went off the top and he hurt himself. I didn't see that part for some reason. I don't know what happened. I must have done something. But I kept saying, like, who was Arn talking about? Because Arn said, you still have friends in high places or something like that. And I was like, who the fuck is this fool talking about? And I kept like, I didn't think it was gonna be Roman. I thought it was gonna be some whole other shit, and it was killing me, bro. I'm like, who is it? What is it? What's he talking about? I didn't know. And then boom, you see the Roman shit, bro. And right off the bat, I'm like, is this a new song? Is this a new version? What is this? What does OTC mean? What the fuck is all this shit? I was tripping, dog. I was so happy. I popped hard when fucking Roman came out, dog. And he came out and he did it like this dude's on top of his game still, dog. You know what I mean? Like he comes out and he just commands the freaking room, dog. The entire arena. They're just like glued to this.
Acknowledge me.
Acknowledge that motherfucker, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, fool. So, he comes out, he does this whole two moves and gets the whole fucking world ready for Roman now again. And it was cool, man. And it was like the end of my shit says he destroys Solo, Cody wins, and Roman watches. And that's all it is. You know what I mean? It was a great show. I was very impressed. It was very well done. Uh, Ended perfectly. I saw a little bit of the little scrum afterwards, the media thing. I saw what Triple H had to say. That was pretty cool. I like how he does his little rundown of each match and talks about things. And he said about Jacob Fatu that something was hurt. That's what I learned about Jacob getting hurt. So I don't know what's happened since. I haven't actually checked on any news this week so far, which is kind of strange. I usually do. But I don't know what the status is on that dude. I hope everything's well. But there is some news coming out of Raw. You want to get into that real quick before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I want to do this real quick so that we can, the other. Um, but anyways, Gunther comes out, and before he could really talk too much about his shit, when the crowd's chanting, "You deserve it," Orton comes out and he basically says, everyone acknowledges the fact that you fucked me over at King of the Ring, that you didn't really win. I kicked out, and the ref still counted. And so he says, I want a championship match. I want my chance at what you gained off of me. So Gunther accepts, basically, okay? Because he says, you're hearing voices in your head and they're telling you the wrong thing because I'm going to smash shit out of you, basically, is what Gunther tells him. So he accepts. And, anyways, going into the Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus match. Pretty cool ass match. Ludwig Kaiser hasn't been on TV since he got his ribs bruised by Sheamus, but that's what this match is about. So he's fucking kicking Sheamus's ass. Definitely, this guy is very brutal, very aggressive.
And he's a little guy, isn't he?
Yeah, and Sheamus ends up winning though.
I saw a spot on Instagram where the dude was trying to do the beats on Sheamus' chest.
Yeah.
No, this Kaiser dude, where the little Kaiser dude was trying to do the beats on Sheamus's chest, and Sheamus was, what the fuck? And he grabbed him and switched him around, and Sheamus did it. He was like, that's just how you do it, fella. You know what I mean? And I was like, show that little fucker.
No, but Pete Dunne came out and tried to fucking punk Sheamus again, but despite the interference, Sheamus still wins.
Yeah.
So Priest calls out Finn Balor at the night, calling him a punk and shit. And then Balor unveils the new Judgment Day on the camera, which is fucking Liv joined. So it's basically Rhea and Damian getting kicked out of the Judgment Day, and the Judgment Day is still around. Is basically what this is. And he's telling him, when you're not thinking about me, that's when I'm going to get you, but not just me, all of us. And the camera zooms out, shows the whole Judgment Day.
Yep. Now, I did see this. I saw the clip of it. I thought Balor definitely isn't a promo dude, man. Fuck. I was like, come on, after all this time, you could sound a little better, Jeez. It was rough for me. But it's cool, Rhea and Priest out, Liv in, that's pretty cool. I like that. Gosh, I want to see more from Balor. And better from Balor, dog. I've seen better from him before, so I was just very disappointed with his delivery on this whole thing.
Well, no,
hold on a second. I also didn't like how he was like, I'm gonna get you when you're not looking, and all this kind of shit. I'm like, he sounds like a puss, like a little girl, dog. I'm like, this fucking guy. So I know it's a heel group, but I need him to be more badass still. You know what I mean?
No, but his speech hints at the thing I keep saying that they're building up towards, dude. The Bullet Club. Because he said that the reason why that we outgrew you is because you outgrew us. We always said that there's no leaders, that there wouldn't be no one above the group, that the group is the group, and that the group is the leaders, and all that stuff. That's the Bullet Club shit. That was the Bullet Club Civil War, and all the shit I talk about with like Tama Tonga and all of them being the OGs versus the new guys like the Elites and shit. And there was this whole fucking feud. It was cool as fuck. So, anyways, for those who know. Anyways.
Yep.
Lyra Valkyria versus Shayna Baszler. This is a bunch of crap because they've been going back and forth for the last few weeks. You still don't know the intentions, but it was a disqualification. Lyra Valkyria, she won by disqualification because those girls jumped her, and it is what it is. It's not that the match sucks. It's just you still don't know the intentions of why Sonya Deville built this dominant women's group and why they're doing the things they have and why they singled out Lyra and Kaden and Katana.
Do they have a name yet?
No.
They need to come up with a name, man. That group is too tight to not have a name.
So bunch of stuff backstage. CM Punk addresses his loss to Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, and Seth Rollins comes out and they have a back and forth and they're about to fight. It's showing that they're going to fight. And Drew McIntyre comes out and says he still has the bracelet. So Punk chases after him. And while he does, Bronson Reed comes out. And this motherfucker takes everything in his own hands. And he does a tsunami, which is a splash off the top rope, fucking 6 times to Seth Rollins, to where he's spitting blood out on the mat and shit. You have all these dumb fucks in the ring running around like idiots, and they can't stop this giant rhinoceros of a man fucking jumping off the rope, smashing the fuck out of Rollins. So he's definitely going to be out for a while. And
that's lame.
You had the New Day versus the Authors of Pain, and fucking
I couldn't wait.
No, it was dope because fucking what's his face came in to help him. Odyssey
Jones.
Odyssey
Jones.
Yep.
His name's Odyssey Jones. He's 6'4" or 6'5", over 400 pounds, and this freaking guy picked up both of the Authors of Pain with one arm each and fucking sidewalk slammed these motherfuckers, dog. I could not believe it. I've never seen anything like that, bro. That dude is impressive. Odyssey Jones, man. That was another clip that I saw right now on YouTube. Very impressive. I'm sorry.
I just want to get to the last 2 real quick. I mean, there's a lot of good ones. That Io Sky match was dope. There's a lot of good shit happen on Raw, but 2 things I want to get into before we move on.
Well, before you move on from this Odyssey Jones, though, I do want to bring up the New Day and their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Yep. That's what I wanted to. The Mattel thing.
Yeah, please.
They came out with the Mattel line of Ninja Turtles, the first wave hitting the stores right now, which is Kofi and Xavier Woods, as exactly how they were on TV, basically. Yep. And also, who else is in? Roman Reigns, Shredder. Second wave is going to be Leonardo as Seth Rollins, Raphael as Rey Mysterio, and Cody Rhodes as Casey Jones.
Oh, so, that's cool.
Yeah, they basically come out in what they're wearing in the figure form, except for the sunglasses. I mean, because they have sunglasses on that have colors around it for the mask on the figures. Yeah. They didn't have that, but they wore the same vest, same pants, basically same designs, almost. It wasn't exactly. I compared pictures already, but it's not exactly. But it was pretty damn close, and it's cool that they did that shit.
Very cool.
But no, I just want to skip to these other 2 matches before we end the show.
Yeah, that's fine.
The 2, because I mean, like I said, there's a lot of good shit happen, Io Sky and all that shit. But the 2 that I wanted to talk about first is the Priest one, dude, with JD McDonough. JD McDonough actually pulled out some badass moves. He did in this match. Things that, like, every time he gets in the ring, I understand why Balor likes him as his, like, fucking right hand. And there's no wonder why he's a tag team champion right now. But all the Judgment Day beat up Priest, and he beats him down, fights through it, gets his hands on fucking Finn, and all this shit happens. And Rhea comes out when they're beating him down, and she gets a hold of Liv, beats the fuck out of her, beats the hell out of her. And Dawn saves her when she's about to do the razor's edge to her on the table. So then you see these 2 in the ring together. So they're basically like, we're the OGs, We're going to come for you. We're going to destroy all of it. And the last thing I want to talk about, though, because there's other shit, but the last thing is because this is the reason for all of it. The fucking Wyatt Six made their debut in the ring against Chad Gable and the fucking Creed brothers. This shit was so badass, and they did not disappoint. I fucking love their entrance song, how they changed it from the original one, and it's like a 9 Inch Nails song. Fucking sick. And I like how they incorporate Bray into the entrance, right? Because the camera's focusing on the chair and the lantern, and then it's like Bray there, basically. And then the Wyatts come out, and they all walk up to the lantern up until Uncle Howdy walks up. He picks it up, he holds it as if like Bray passing it to their new leader, and then he starts walking, and they all come out, and it's badass. It's fucking sick.
I didn't get to see it. I want to see it, man. It sounds tight.
So, and anyways, these guys, they fucking are brutality. You know what I mean? The beating that Bo Dallas took from the Creed brothers and shit. You know the saying where you have to give a beating to take it, or you have to take a beating to give a beating. These guys
Yeah.
represent that. You know what I mean?
I
Dude,
love
they
it.
hurt each other, and I love the way Joe Gacy and Dexter Loomis do their move where he picks him up and power bombs Dexter Loomis onto the guy. Fucking
Yeah.
sick. That's how they won the match too. But they do these crazy ass shit. But Dexter Loomis jumps off the top rope and does a leg drop on him on the Creed brothers. Dude, that shit's fucking badass. It
Yeah.
was sick, dude. And fucking Eric Rowan does a shout out, an homage to Luke Harper, and he goes, yeah, 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 and it looks so cool, and he jumps over the rope and shit, and it was sick, dude. It was good.
That's dope. I want to watch it. I need to see it now. That's dope. Well, is that it? Is that all you wanted to get through as far as Raw goes?
Yeah.
Well, that was a great show. That SummerSlam, bro. I'm real happy with the whole thing. A lot of new champions, new directions for things, new storylines, some continuations of storylines, some new eras upon us. You know, I'm excited for all of it. And then this Wyatt Six, bro, is just always the cherry on top right now. So, uh, I'm real excited
You
for all.
need to see it, Remo.
I
Dude,
need
they
to see it.
showed Joe Gacy's video in this one, so let's just say he's saying how people tried to control him and stuff, and it was kind of weird, really rushed video. Still leaves a lot to wonder, you know. It's
Yeah,
not as complex as Eric Rowan's and Bo's, but I feel like because those were characters that existed prior to this, like Joe
yeah,
Gacy and Nikki Cross and Dexter Loomis, they're still new characters, so they're not really, you know what I mean?
yeah. Well, you know, there's plenty of time for character development, so lots of opportunities there. Um, Before we end the show, I did want to mention something briefly. I had a little spat over the weekend, also with some of our fellow internet wrestling community people here on a few little posts that I commented on, and I just want to let them all know if they watch the show, they could, you know what I'm saying, they could eat a dick. So. I had a good time with some of that. Keep bringing it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's all in good fun. I love y'all. I don't mean anything harmful or malicious. We're all fans of wrestling and want to see it get bigger and better in all forms and facets of it. So I welcome any of the banter. So please comment down below, follow and subscribe to all of the shows, all of the channels. This has been the hot tag. I think we're tagging out. Hell yeah, my brother. Peace out, y'all. We'll catch y'all in the next one.
Bye, guys.